welcome to a quick 30-minute, or maybe, stream. We'll see how long we go. Maybe an hour. Hi, it's been a long time since I've done a Creators Creation camp session. So for those who want to hang out, today we're still working on the book. I haven't decided 100% yet what we're going to work on. I figured we might update the timeline a little bit and kind of start making notes for some stuff like some of the names for the seas and like how they gain their names, stuff like that. So, kind of filling out a little bit more on the world lore and such. So that's kind of the idea for today of what we're going to be working on. We've got some of the diseases we're working on. We're going to continue working on those later. For now, I think one of the things we're going to start working up is the ocean information. If it's in here, it may not be. Alright. Sea of Tears. Now, I'm actually switching this up today. So it looks like we did do some work on some of these, but I'm actually going to change this. Named after the Goliath, or the Goliath War with the Yuan Ti during the, what age was that? So I added this just today, the last flame. Okay. During the age of the last flame, in which the two nations began a small, naval war. The overall war is said to have kicked off from a group of Yuan Ti led by a new princess who had not been able to claim queenship of a hive, thus causing her and the brood she had born to fall or to exile themselves from the Yuan Ti lands. During this war, known as I think we called it the War of Tears? Tearing War, yeah. The Tearing War. The princess is said to have tried using a forbidden and long-lost spell that would rend the earth itself from the from the bottom of the ocean and tear apart the massive body of water. However, the Goliaths looked upon this body of water as the Sea of Tears, from the loss of the majority. This will come back and worked on later. From the loss of the majority of the Goliath Navy and a third of its population during the war. Alright. And then, looking at this, we've got the Devouring Sea. So this one I also had a recent idea on why I was going to call it this. Named by the sea elves who reside beneath the waves. Beneath the waves. Few adventurers of this race have claimed to have seen 3 major factions for control of this ocean. Have claimed to have seen 3 major factions for control of this ocean. The Kraken. What was his name? I don't actually remember. I know he's on Zaya's character sheet, actually. Let's pull that up. Rejected Potential. Zaya, the last queen. Yes, who was a warlock. She has a pact with a Kraken. I hope Maya kept notes, because I may have forgotten their name. Allies. Yes, Morgwar, the Kraken. I remember him now. The Kraken. Kraken doesn't need to be capitalized. Kraken. Morgwar. The Great Sea Leviathan. I need a good name for a Sea Leviathan. Yeah, let's see what we've got. What well-known Leviathans? I mean, there's the Leviathan. You know what? I kind of like the reference to the... This is a really good piece of artwork. Okay. I think I'm going to do, Dore. The Great Sea Leviathan, Dore. And lastly, probably a dragon of some sort, a sea dragon of some sort, famous sea dragons. Let's see what we can find. Such as 9 Dragons Scroll. Okay, so let's see. There's the Naga, which is well known. There's Amit, which is a hybrid. Just seeing what they've got in here. You know what? Absu is apparently an Assyrian myth. I'm curious. Slayer's Enki. It was perceived as effeminate, but he later became a personal god, the husband of dragons, Tiamat, and the father of the first... Ooh. I like the idea of Apsu. Okay. Let's use Apsu. And lastly, Apsu. We'll call him Apsu, because it'll change it slightly. You know that... Oh, you know, change my homework. You can copy my homework to change it slightly. And lastly, Apsu, the Great Serpent. These 3 legendary creatures are said to rival many minor gods in power and are worshipped amongst the many sea elven kingdoms that reside beneath the waves. Okay. Let's keep going. I figure we get these done today and see where they go. The Great Golden Sea, well, we know what this is going to be named from. Having gained its name from the first Dwarven kings as the main trade route of the world, this sea, though smaller and true to its name, is said to not only be the main trade route of all nations, hoping to make their fortune in the Dwarven and, well, we'll change it later. Dwarven and Dragonborn. I got a peanut. What's going on? End of the world. I'm good with that. Should I roll up a level 20 to go with them as well? No, I think your Yuan-Ti will be fine. I will be running the 2 level 20 characters. Okay. Alright. Throughout help make their fortune at the Dwarven and Dragonborn lands. This sea is well known for its armaments and what's the term, resource rare resource routes. Yeah, let's go with that. Having cornered the Tilk and gold trades from the Drafnica ports and the legendary craftsmanship of the dwarves and gnomes that reside on the northern edge. This sea is also said to have a high iron count in its waters due to the fact of all the major wars that have happened between the Dragonborn and Dwarven invaders. Alright, perfect. So that's done. I think that's all the C's, to be honest. That's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, cool. So we've got them down. So that's another easy tick off the book. I don't know what we're gonna do, if we're gonna do the continent names or histories yet. We'll come back to this as a secondary thing. We do still have the diseases, which we are working on. This is something that I'm gonna have to definitely come back to later, but definitely is something we're going to be working on as time goes on. Damn, I was gonna make Nick's father. Alright, so there's diseases done. Thank you, Maya, for helping me out with that by keeping good notes, which I do highly appreciate. We've been doing so much work on the Domain of Moors. I think at this point we have a general gist of what we're kind of working on, and who these people are. They will get notes later on anyways, and while important, they also aren't as needed for information. So we do have the two. Okay, let's finish up this though. The organization led by the old High King, Stone the Corrupt. This group of devils share their power with the King of Devils, and thus have granted his faction the ability to cast true divine magic without the need for followers. Some not philosophers. Some scientists fully believe that if the gods would ever lose their power, Stone the Corrupt would be one of the few beings still divine and without challenge. Okay. So there we go. That's I think this will be a kind of a nice little way to explain why when the gods descend, Alfred still has his powers. So, yep, we've got the mostly setup overall for how this is going to work. I'm not going to go too much more into detail. I think this is pretty alright. The Realm of Wrath is definitely going to be one we're going to have to come back to. Notable locations, let's think. I think the main thing for this is the mines and the barracks. So in this case, let me look. Let's go to, let me see, because I want to see what mine, yeah, let me see. So Faudenet. Actually, give me a minute. I'm still typing something, kind of thinking here. You know what? That works. Let's go with that. Perirunt Faudenet. Alright. For those who don't know, that means the perishing mines is the rough translation. We still have to do also for Lucrum, which we'll get to here in a minute. Okay. Yeah, okay, so that's how I did it. Alright. The perishing mines, as they are translated in common as, are the main location for Hemescus and his volunteers. The main location for Hemescus and his volunteers, a large, what do you call it, like, rift in the plain is known to produce the highest qualities of soul metals and cursed materials one could ask for. Thus, the souls bound to Hemescus himself are set to work in the mines under the worst conditions in hopes that they will either bring him greater materials the deeper they go, or they will fall and add themselves to the materials being unearthed. Okay. Because I want to give something for the DMs to kind of like, oh, this is something I'm going to now design an idea behind. I don't want to go into too much detail. I will provide images later as we kind of go through things as the book finishes up. And we will actually start adding the races here soon to the book to see how long the book's going to be when we kind of like finish it out. So just be prepared for that. The idea, I don't know how we're going to split up the book yet. Probably going to combine a few of these into one book, and then we'll just kind of do it like 3.5 did. We'll see. Oops. Did I not spell barracks right? Is barracks with a K? No, it is that. Okay. Alright. Malleus Barracks. Alright, let's put that down. In common, this place is typically translated to the Hammer's Barracks, though the true translation is the Hammered barracks. In reference to the constant battering those who reside here take throughout their stay. These barracks, though only recently added and one of the only locations to be created by a current ruler, stand upon the largest volcano in the entirety of Moors and is known for its massive Colosseum atop it, Here it is said that and I'll fix the grammar later for run-on sentences stuff. This is more just getting the ideas out there. Here it is said that the souls who have sworn or been sworn to Arden reside and do battle until one or the other is pushed into the volcano as sacrifice and to weed out the weak souls. Okay. For lucrum, I'm actually not going to put anything here. The reason why is this is known for greed. I feel like greed would be one of the few places where you wouldn't have any notable locations. There would be people constantly trying to outdo each other. So, no notable locations are written about currently. This is due to the devils and demons who reside here constantly competing with their strongholds, thus causing the layer lucrum to have the most notable and least notable locations due to the overwhelming number of them. So I think that kind of gives the DM a chance to kind of work in something of their own there, giving it kind of an idea and kind of pulls back from what is going to be there. I think the rest, so I think the domain of Moors is pretty much done. I'm going to confidently say that they are finished. However, now one of the things I do want to do is the events. We have this, so I think the domain of Moors and Paradise, is it Paradise? Let me look. Yes, domain of paradise, okay. Discovered. Okay, and then I want to do, I think, I'm going to say during the during the Wintered Age. Or no, I think during the Broken Age, the first 3 layers of Moors are finally mapped out. And we'll do 2764 BS. And again, before settlement, for those wondering, it's also after chaos, so I believe is another term. And then I'm going to put down during the Age of Song here, the last 3 levels of Moors are discovered. And we'll put this in 2211 BS. There we go. And then we're going to have the last layer is going to be created. The last layer of Moors is created by stone and the phoenix. Oh, and we got to put that in, let's say 64 BS. Yeah, there we go. I think that works for me. Who's all chilling in the chat now? Trent, are you just chilling in all of my fucking streams? Are you just on my Twitch channel the entire time now? God damn. I will put a little note out there for those who are watching this stuff. So, since it is the new year, and I don't talk about this much, one of the things I have a personal belief of is when you go into the new year, you kind of want to change up everything, kind of want to do better yourself. So, one of the things I finally decided to do was reach out to Trent and try and patch things up, which thankfully we're able to get patched up. So that was kind of sweet to get that all kind of taken care of and done. I will say that I also had to cut off my parents for the new year because it just needed to be finally, done. And move on from the toxicity of them because they were terrible. So yeah. We gained Tren, and I lost dealing with my folks, which was probably for the best. Okay, so we've got the Domain of Moors done. Let's go ahead and update this for the page numbers. Now, of course, a lot of these will get updated as time goes on. Things will get added as we add detail into the race charts, because we're still going to work on the races throughout this week. I'm going to start trying to do a half an hour every day of recording for this. We'll see. And hopefully we can kind of get some stuff going. So I still haven't come up with a screenshot for this series, so as it gets uploaded onto YouTube, hopefully I'll come up with something. But yeah, I think that's going to pretty much be our stream for today on that. I'm not going to mess around too much more with things that are going on, because we do still have a bunch of wars and information we still need to go through. For races, for those wondering where we're at, because I know someone was asking about this, so we are, I believe, halfway done with the Dragon and Dragonborn Lizard folder. We did finish the Aasimar Giant, so all this is done. I believe, let me double check. I think we outright finished most of this. Yeah. So most of these are done. Yeah, all these are done, in fact, because we haven't done we haven't done the known diseases and such. We do need to come back to that. But that's going to be stuff that does get left blank because of the fact that there's not always going to be stuff in here. And the economic state will be getting removed. And we need to do the founding. So some of these are still needing to be worked on. We're going to try and finish those up. My goal is before the end of January to have the Aasimar and Giants done and the Dragonborn Lizard Folk. And then every month my goal will be to basically get 1 to 2 folders done. The Dwarves and the Elves are going to be the heaviest because they have so many split races, so we're going to have a lot to go through here. And they have a lot of history of their own that we still need to expand on. So for those wondering. And then the last little update, I'm actually going to add this onto this video because I want to make sure this gets updated, so the Enders campaign is coming to an end. We are going to be doing one final one-shot with the series most likely coming up, probably in the next couple weeks. So that will be the final end of that, and then we'll be jumping into the Age of Chaos once all the campaign's complete. So we'll be going back in time, which is another reason why I kind of want to start getting this stuff done. Once we finish all the races, we'll start putting those into the official releases books, where we kind of start doing things. And then from there, we're going to just start going through probably the Gods and Realms, because it's going to be the next biggest section to kind of fill out. Once we get that and the race is done, we can tackle history through the ages, and then we can finish that. And then it's just going to be working on the books and organizations, diseases and continents, some of the finance stuff, updating the maps with the final versions, getting the NPCs known to the world put in here, because they are going. So for those who don't know, when this book releases, we are going to be releasing the character sheets as part of the campaign at the very end, so you will get the opportunity to play as these characters if you wish. Or you can build them and see how they're built. Kind of like a sample NPC. And then, like I said, once we get those done, that'll pretty much, then the last thing we'll do is the Schools of Mana, which will be our biggest chunk, I think, because this is where we're going to be doing all the Schools of Magic, and I'm going to be kind of really laying out this world. The reason why this isn't getting done till then is because a lot of this isn't going to get put into the world for D&D, because we're going to stick to traditional 5e for the campaign for right now. But by this point, we're gonna then start doing things, and then we'll have the patron schools and such and all that. So there's gonna be a lot of things added. So hopefully this will kind of pop off here soon. So we'll start working on it. But yeah, so every month this year, our goal is to do two whole race folders, get them done. And we'll see. We probably will dedicate a whole month to both the dwarves and elves, so they'll probably be our last two races we work on. But the rest of them we're gonna be doing two at a time. Including the last ones who we'll be doing are the half species, where we're gonna kind of bring all of the folders into. So get excited for all that and seeing where those go, because every species in here will get a half species, and like how their stats work. So that's one thing I think that D&D is definitely missing is the half species. It doesn't really encourage interracial marriage. Which makes sense given some of these are different species altogether. But yeah, so that's the general plan for right now. So every month, two folders. Hopefully we should have a bunch of videos going up. Honestly, there may be a video going up every day of this series. I haven't decided yet how I'm going to release it, or I might release it over like how I do with every other series, which is one episode a week. You guys let me know what you're kind of thinking, if you guys want to see that, and if you want to get your characters in. Like I said, we are looking for D&D players now to join on to our Friday campaign. Because we want to get at least one more player. So if you're interested, let me know. If not, then I'm not too worried. No issue. So, all right. Thank you all for watching this, and we will see you later today for some peaceful future, hopefully. Catch you then.